rich decades from now by following that, that good old traditional route, or you can join over 2,100 students who are getting rich right now, traveling the world, spending time with their families, and doing the things they genuinely enjoy. Now, obviously, guys, there's a cost to learning the system, which is much less than what you can make in less than a month.
All right. Thank you for coming back, Linda. And everybody else for coming back. All right. So she was waiting on me, and I told her to come on, but she's coming on in a second, and I'm sorry about that. My fault. This is not always easy. I think that this is all preparation, like I was saying before, and I feel like I'm rambling, but I really want to get into this conversation. I need her to come on and make life for me easier so we can all get into it, because like I was saying before, there's something about the energy and the estrogen of women, and when it comes on to relationship and love, and you don't know if they're exerting their personal insecurities onto you. So there Ronique goes. So I'm about to add you, Ronique. All right. All right. Woo. Hey, beautiful.
Hi, Erica.
How are you, darling?
Took you long.
Listen, but I'm glad that we got it rectified and we're all good. So, how are you?
I'm okay. Thanks for asking. Just preparing myself for 2021.
Girl, we all are.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. So I'm gonna just tell y'all, Ronique and I met in Atlanta. She is a celebrity, and we are very close. And especially in this industry, you never know who knows who. And I'm just glad to have seen your progress in all of your beautiful endeavors. And she's an entrepreneur. She's an amazing mother. She's an amazing sister. And you've gotten me through a lot of long seasons, and I appreciate you on so many levels. So now we're going to get into episode 8 of Single Saturdays, which is, girl, you can do better. Are you settling, or are they jealous? And a lot of us women know exactly what that feels like. We want happiness for ourselves, but oftentimes I think women as a whole, we're very emotional, and we can feed off of others' energy. So I want you to start the conversation out. Have you ever experienced anything like that? What are talk about it, because I got stories.
Oh yeah, I experienced everything. I'm from Oakland, California, born and raised. I got into the industry in 2003. I was actually 23 years old with 2 children, and jumping into this business, there's no rule books, there's no instructions, as far as gaming you up on things you need to know. Everything is basically taught by self-experience, other people who are willing to mentor you, who genuinely educate you. And with me being in this field has brought and opened up a lot of jealousy from a lot of people I've grown up with, from past relationships, which and some guys, and what I've learned from being in this business, do not know how to handle a strong minded, sophisticated woman who know her worth, her strength, got the drive to get up and make things happen. Some guys cannot handle that, and a lot of that come from their upbringing, from their moms and fathers neglected them, and them experiencing childhood trauma. So having a strong woman in the presence, it's a new language. It's like a new recipe, a new meal they never ever tasted, a new language. So some can't fathom that, but jealousy is something else, and with me experiencing that, it has my circle extremely short. I deal with, genuine friends You know, I know who genuinely rock for me, and I know who genuinely just maybe you know, who I know who the opportunity is, and I know who the genuine ones are. I don't put them on blast. You know what I mean? I keep, I just deal with people accordingly, if that makes any sense. I treat them the way they
treat you.
You
You can feel the energy, right?
Right, because you can feel the energy, the conversations. You can even read people face expressions, and it's real. It's real. I'm so hurt by our culture that we as Black people do not know how to be happy for other people who are winning, who have success, who are financially free, who are even happy and healthy. We don't know how to do that. And it's sad. It breaks my heart because we are the strongest culture on earth, but we are so messed up here, and it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But you know, with my experience as far as, because I'm back home in Oakland, the jealousy factor, in Oakland, I don't dress the way I want to dress. I'm not glammed up like this. I'm mostly incognito, wearing hats, beanie caps, no makeup, maybe some glasses, because I don't want attention. You understand what I'm saying? People assumptions as a mother. Somebody assumes, oh, she's on TV, she's a producer, she's an actress, she got her own cooking show, she's a writer, she's a real star, she got it, let's, follow her home and set her up, let's rob her. And it's not like that. Don't let TV fool you. It takes time to make money. You have to, it takes years to make it, okay? Watch the Tina Turner story. Okay? It takes years. It doesn't happen overnight like that. And I feel like I had to sort of, I don't know the right word, neglect myself from how the things I really want to have, of where I'm at currently as far as being in Oakland right now, because it's so much jealousy and hate. And I value my life. I value my mom's life. I value my kids, my family. And in order for us to stay safe, I would rather please, which is a shame, the hood, to show them I'm just as broke as them.
Right. And that's the thing I wanted to just say, like, all of that is beautiful, sis. And I mean, I know your story, and I'm glad that you were able to articulate that so well. And in every level of life, there is a new test and a new experience that, we have to have. And like you said, you are a human being. You're just like everybody else who's made a mental decision, a conscious decision to want more for themselves and to be ambitious and go for those things. And it's like people want to stay stuck stupid in where they are or who they're with and not want to evolve. So they're mad at your evolution. They're mad at your productivity. And it's like they're almost trying to shame you for wanting more for yourself, like almost a crab in a barrel mentality. And I mean, I love our people. We are innovative. We are a reflection of everything universal. And it's so sad that we've allowed the systematics to subdue us and stay low and then make the excuses for it. So when it comes onto that in relationship, for me, my ideal is the divinity. God first, my husband God-fearing, I'm God-fearing, and that's that Trinity. You feel me? So now, for me, when it comes onto that wholeness, I don't play about certain things, Ronique, and you know me. I won't play about my man. I don't play about my kids. I don't play about my stepkids. And I don't play about how my mama and my daddy and then my sisters, my close circle, which is you and, a few other stuff. And you know what I'm saying? That close circle, I take that very seriously. And I think that people like to expend their misery onto others, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
And no one's going to interrupt your blessings. And what people don't recognize, too, is the fact that you're chosen, I'm chosen. People who choose to live in their highest calling are chosen ones, right?
But so, not to cut you off, we've got the same God we can get on our knees and pray to, okay? Just like I'm asking him to give me X, Y, Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Do the same thing.
Exactly.
Mad at me that he's hearing my prayers and he is granting me my prayers and guiding me my steps, okay? You can have the thing. We
And
all
you're putting in the work behind it too, because faith without works is dead. So you could pray all day, but if you're not putting in the work, and that's the thing, you put in the work, sis. So you
right.
deserve everything you're getting.
Thank you.
You
So,
deserve it, including love. So let's talk about it. I love
oh,
you, girl. Okay, so let's talk about women and why we are the way that we are. You know, when we're in our lower selves, you know, we might be insecure, we might get prone to jealousy very quickly. And, you know, we've all been that chick. We've all been that chick who might be a little jealous of, you know, a friend or whoever, you know, wanting, you know, having what we desire. But it's not until we do the self work, you know, work on our health, whatever it may be, to be better for what we want to attract. So how do you handle, Ronique, women who try to, or friends who try to interfere in your relationship? How do you handle that?
okay. Well, I hate to let you all down, but I haven't been in a relationship since 2004. To be honest, I left my ex-husband in 2004, almost 2005, and moved away to Las Vegas. So, and end up in Atlanta on TV. But
Mm-hmm.
with guys, I have some friends, some guy friends who I've known for years,
Mm-hmm.
years, who have so much respect for me.
Mm-hmm.
They do not even want to attempt to play with my feelings and my hearts. You understand what I mean?
I
These,
feel you.
they won't even, they love me like the queen I am.
Mm-hmm.
I am, and they encourage me, and you know, on a sense of level of a friendship, but they won't try to come into my life on a vulnerable kind of state and play with my heart, if that makes any sense.
It
And I
makes a lot of sense.
and I
Mm-hmm.
respect those, you know, a few guys that I can really count on one hand. You know, they're
Mm-hmm.
friends, and that's it, nothing else. But as far as relationship goes, I'm not ready to be in a relationship. Yes, I have prayed for my husband. I continuously pray for my king, but I am not where I want to be mentally, physically,
Mm-hmm.
spiritually, and financially yet. I want to get
Mm-hmm.
cleaned up with myself first and God before I
Mm-hmm.
allow my husband to come into my world, into my space, because he doesn't deserve to wear any burdens that I'm carrying right now, because it's not his fault. He wasn't there when it happened. So let me heal and go through my healing process and let God work on me. You know what I mean? Get next
Right.
where I need to be, and then I'll
Mm-hmm.
say, okay, God, now I'm ready for my king to walk through the door. I'm where I need to be. Everything else is set. You understand? Um, Celibacy is what I'm at. I can't even remember the last time.
Girl, who you telling? Shit.
My focus is just, you know, my mom, you know, dealing with
Mm-hmm.
the loss of my brother last year, my only
Mm-hmm.
love living sibling. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I really haven't truly grieved behind him yet. I think about him every day. I cry behind him every day. I just don't tell people. I don't.
Okay.
If somebody asks me, I will express how I feel. But if I'm not asked, I won't share it. I'm learning not to share so much information with you. Understand what I'm saying?
I'm
If
listening. Mm-hmm.
certain people ask you certain things, yeah. And then when certain people ask you certain questions, you got to learn to answer short. Don't give them too much of your business, because everybody don't have your best intentions, your best heart desires, and everybody not rooting for you, for your happiness, for your success. Some people just trying to be in your business, to be nosy, to learn your
Hello?
stats, learn your drive, learn your hustle, steal it from you, take it and run with it, and leave it at that. Because a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
got to work together.
Mm-hmm.
We are, you know, in today's world, and that's something we need to work on too, as far as our culture. You know, I would love to see that. Like, you know, I know the things you and I talked about, the
Mm-hmm.
collaboration, and some other Black sisters who I believe in, from Oakland to LA to Texas, Atlanta, Miami, New York. Just, we're all, you know, my friends are, you know, I love you guys very much. And you guys, what I've learned is, and experience, you guys who are on the East Coast and the South and not,
Mm-hmm.
have shown me so much more love than a lot of the women I've grown up with from Oakland, which is sad and crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
close their card. You know what I mean? When they expose their card, you need to know. And sometimes you got to put people to the test to expose themselves, so you can know where they are with you. Because when you get there, you don't want everybody, sitting at your table or, coming to your house, because you don't know your ulterior motives. But love, when it come, like I said before, I prayed. I ask God, and I just pray all the other things on that top of the list is most definitely taken care of. Then I can say, hey, all these 5 things are checked off. Now, I'm open to receive him. It's happening. It's gonna come.
Listen, Ronique and I, like I said, we've known each other for about 13 years, and you family, sis. And at the end of the day, the conversations we done had. And one of the craziest things and the most beautiful things is just to see the evolution of us speaking into each other's lives, all these years, and to see, like, I think 2020 as a whole is like the live version of Hunger Games on all levels. You dealing with Black Lives Matter, you're doing all this stuff, and it's like the survival of the fittest. Who's really going to get through and make it to the other side? And on the other side of that is, the abundance and the love that we so deserve from one queen to another. Like, I always honor you, and I would actually recommend to anyone tuning in, hi to everyone who's just come in, reevaluate your circle. It's so important, especially for the fact that you are growing, that no more passengers on my plane type vibe, or keep your circle tight, and also keep your blessings very sacred. I was always the type of person who would be like, girl, I done met me a man, or oh my God, I just booked this, and maybe the next day they be like, you know what, they canceled the shoot, or something happens and he ghosts. And I feel like in certain elements, keep the foundation of what could possibly be sacred, because everything you just said was, not a lot of people want to see you happy, and it's because they're not happy in their space. So, like, going into relationships, I know some women are very vocal, or they treat, they're very expressive with their friends about certain things, like how their man is in bed, or, the things that he does for them. Listen, you don't know. Meanwhile, a so-called friend or a female is trying to plot on trying to take over take your space. And you have to be careful about that when in the realm of relationships and in business as well. So it's always trying to keep your eyes open, and you really don't want a Judas at your table. You got to be mindful of your Judas, and I think that's real.
Yeah, I think with any woman, they should have enough common sense, to know what goes on in the bedroom between you and your mate is between you and your mate. It shouldn't leave the bedroom nor the house.
Right.
Things are sacred, meant to be shared in a private matter. Everything in your happiness doesn't have to be shared with everybody. You don't have to be validated by nobody. Nobody. You only got one judge, and his name is God. Erica, this is crazy because with everything, that's going on in 2019, 2020, 2021 here, everything we're discussing now is has happened and manifest because I'll say when I hit, my last birthday this year, I turned 40, and I started cutting people off left and right. I started cutting people left and right. I just started cleaning my house because I got tired of constantly forgiving people who constantly mess up over and over again. You're grown. You old enough when you making mistakes and effing up,
Right.
So I'm not going to sit here and keep turning the other cheek. God say, don't be a fool. I mean,
Right.
damn, I'm not about to sit up here after you don't reveal who you are to me and keep saying, okay, you know what? Enough is enough. Some people just don't get it and change, and it ain't up for us to sit there and sit around and wait for them to change. Okay. And time is of the essence. That's something we cannot get back. And that's one thing I have against people who want to come into my life and waste my time. Don't waste my time, because see, life is short. And I know, I have experienced several funerals within 2 years from family members that are close to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to let anybody come into my life and my space and waste my time. That's
Mm-hmm.
not happening. It's not.
Right.
No, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
giving you no more than one chance. It is
Right.
what it is. And I'm moving on with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm staying connected to those who show me they genuinely love me and support me. Show me. Because see,
Mm-hmm.
anybody off the street can walk up to you and tell you they love you.
Facts.
You're beautiful.
Facts. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Words is easy to slip off anybody's tongue.
Right.
Actions, that's
Mm-hmm.
characteristic.
Right. Right.
That's
Character is everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was deep, sis, and it's real. And I wish that, people would really embrace their fullness. And, everybody can win. Like you said, God is not a respecter of persons. Exactly, Marcus, say less. It's very important for us to just be in this space of wanting one another to win. I want you to win, Ronique, because you're already winning. And, you know, the whole circle element, just keeping it small. Everything you just said is so true. You understand? Actions speak louder than words. All of that is important. So when you do get in your next relationship, right? Because this is the single Saturdays element, but I also want to let the spirit flow the way it's flowing, right? So in your next relationship, what do you desire? You don't got to talk about all the details, but like as a generalization, what are some things that you desire? What are some things that you want your king to qualities you want your king to embrace and have as you move forward in your future and your destiny together? And if you had to choose between your best friends, and your man, who are you choosing?
my best friends and my mans. Well, from past experience,
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that the guy who I went to the altar with betrayed me more than and worse off than a lot of my so-called girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my close friends and sisters are still around me over
Mm-hmm.
20 years. They supporting me and having my back, while that so-called husband, who's supposed to have been there through thick and thin, is gone
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, probably the same habits with a new victim.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a kind of iffy question. Loyalty runs deep.
Right.
And let me just elaborate on that. As
Mm-hmm.
far as being in the field I am in,
Mm-hmm.
that's why I be very specific in my prayers,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want my future husband coming into my life based on who I am, what I got, the opportunities that present themselves to me, my lifestyle, what I
Mm-hmm.
offer him on some material objects and financial.
Mm-hmm.
I need him to be my best friend, like-minded, God-fearing,
Mm-hmm.
most importantly, to
Mm-hmm.
be able to understand me spiritually, my best friend who I can confide in, lean on, talk about anything. No secrets,
Right.
as far as to where I was just having this conversation with someone yesterday about lovers. Like,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I have to go on the road for a month or two. I need you to
Mm-hmm.
be able to contain yourself sexually. If you feel like you feeling horny and intimate, you get on the plane and you come see me. You
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying? You make time to come to where I'm at. I'm at on the set, and we make it happen.
Right. Hit in the
It,
trailer.
you know what I mean?
Right.
It comes with me,
Right. Right.
because who in the hell want to share their body with any and everybody in the first place? What's wrong
Mm-hmm.
with you? Like,
Yeah.
spirits jump in and out. You know what I mean? You sleeping with this person, sleep with that. Those spirits is going in and out, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't know why you feeling and acting a certain way, and your mind acting funny, because you letting Susan and Keisha and Tanya, who over there done been with John, Larry, and Kevin. All
Mm-hmm.
these different spirits, and that's not cool. That is
Right.
cool. So,
Nope.
you know,
Mm-hmm.
things about myself that I carry,
Mm-hmm.
that I need my partner to also be
Mm-hmm.
willing to carry. You
Right.
understand? On
Right.
a close friendship, best friend level. And we
Right.
have to both seek like-minded things and be on one accord spiritually.
Right. Right. And as you were talking, you were talking about before, like weaning off the people, right? I'm in that space right now where I'm weaning off people. You know, there is, like you said, there is no loyalty. There's no false loyalty in my circle. Like my cousin Lana's here. You know, I have some amazing family. I have some amazing friends, and I will resonate with what resonates with me. And I'm going to be unapologetic about it because God knows my heart, and the right people will know my heart and my intentions. You understand? This entire idea was all about me wanting to pour into people and help people heal as I was healing in the midst of everything going on in 2020. And then just everything you experience just in life. You understand? I don't think people really take the time out to stop and breathe and like recollect and heal. So this has been in the space that I've been in. And I mean, I'm preparing myself for the next session of level of my acting career and you know, all of this and the show and all of that. And then I'm also preparing myself for my husband. I want to be right. You understand? It's like no more excuses. I don't want to be having to fix myself or fix certain things and not be prepared. You know, learn about investments, learn, you know, save money, you know, even in the midst of all of this chaos. And I think it's so important to heal. Like you said, Ronique, you've had some tragedies in your life and you are making a conscious decision to be whole before you get into your next relationship, and then you're spitting out all of your toxins that you never got checked. And I think a lot of times too, society to a fault thinks that it's okay to appease women in their mess. Like, oh, she's a woman. Oh, she's responsible for herself. So if a woman is slapping up on a man, she deserves to go to jail. Like, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I think that society needs to stop coddling women just as much as some women need to stop coddling men, you know, to be grown men. Like you were saying earlier, like some of these men don't really want to rise to the occasion when they see a queen. You understand? So that's why, huh?
No, they don't.
They don't. Go ahead. What you want to add something to it?
I won't respond. It's a lot that can't handle responsibility. It's a lot who just get weak and fold and run and sit in the corner like a little boy and pout. Like a friend of mine I was having a conversation last week. Older gentleman told me, he said, yeah, a lot of these men out here run away from responsibility because they don't want to dip into, you know, their pocket and take away from themselves, meaning they're selfish, right? This is your child. This is your responsibility. If you have the freedom to run around here as a free man or in all these relationships, whatever's going on in your life, but you have responsibilities over here, meaning some little people who are growing up in this crucial, messy, evil world who need so much love and guidance, and you're not there to give them that love and guidance. What do you think the mother is going through? Who's holding the household down? Who's paying bills? Who have to make sure the kids get back and forth to school, to the doctor? Who have to any and every emotional issues they may encounter walking out into this world when they step out of the house, because it's not nice outside at all. It's not. The mama have to deal with that, not to mention the fact that, damn, I can't get a break. I can't get no me time just to do a facial, take a nice bath, put some Epsom salt, light some candles, drink some wine, read, pray, meditate, yoga, work out, because she don't have no help, no babysitter. But the man running around still ain't figuring out life. And probably constantly repeating the same mistakes, creating more little.
Right. Same cycles. And this is where we cannot rely on society to raise our children. We have to be responsible in instilling, especially in men, to take responsibility of not just their hearts, but their future wives' hearts, because our hearts are like a egg. You understand what I'm saying? It's fragile. If it drops, it's going to break and it's going to splatter. You understand what I'm saying? It takes the home to community as well. Yes. To raise us up.
Children. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It takes a community, and because we all got something to give to these kids different, because everybody everybody common sense, everybody upbringing is different. So we all got something different to offer. Let me tell you something while we on this conversation. My son is 23 years old. Best son I could ever have, and been grateful and thankful for. He's not into drugs. He's, you know, he's not in the street life. You know, he's in the work and going to school and being very, you know, independent. And I'm just truly blessed. And I thank God and I pray for him continuously because he's a black man and he has been mama, you know. He haven't had too many father figures, but besides my brother, you know, who is, you know, deceased now. But let me use another example because I don't want people feelings. I don't want people getting their feelings. So there is a lady who was in a relationship with a toxic man for about 20, 25 years. And he couldn't bring nothing positive to her household as far as directing her as her, you know, king and loving on her children and her grandchildren correctly. And, you know, because he had all this toxic and trauma of his childhood, being angry at his family, his mom and dad and all that kind of stuff. So I had to tell this young man who was pouting, I said, hey, grown men don't get upset and pout. I said, I've been around some of the maturest, strongest men, you know, traveling and in the field I'm in. They don't get angry and raise their voice and pout and buck up and call. They calmly have a good conversation in a nice, smooth tone voice, get directly to the, you know, problem and try to find a solution without getting hostile, angry, and mad and bitter. I have to check a young man and let him know that. You don't act like that.
Right.
I don't care, old man or elder man you seen do that. He got the wrong teachings. He got the wrong lessons. You don't act like this is how real men communicate.
Right.
Doing solutions. So make sure you check yourself because you got people looking up to you. Little cousins and, you know, friends and, you know what I mean, your girlfriend, whoever. Learn to deal with your temper.
And I think that's beautiful that you actually took the time, sis, to not just check him, but to express to him why. And I think that's important too, with a lot of rearing, especially in the Black community. I don't care if you're West Indian, where you're from the States. It's our parents, most parents, I would say, they would just say, because I said so. You understand? Right. So because I said so. And that is not teaching a child anything. You have to be aware if you're going to break cycles, if you want your children to advance and be further than you are, you have to really take the dictatorship off of it and explain to kids so they understand that, okay, yes, this is how I treat a woman. This is how I treat my husband, my man. You know, these, watch my temper, you know, watch my words, they're sacred. Like all of that stuff matters. And the sad part about it is everybody just wants to stay low. Nobody don't really want to evolve. And like I was telling somebody earlier, you're going to see when people get up out of 2020, you're going to see who put in the work. You're going to see who put in the work in their careers, within themselves, and you're going to see the people who did not once we get up out of this, or people who stay stagnant. And this is like the biggest wake-up call. This is like God putting everybody in timeout. You understand? It's almost a full year. What have you done with your time? You want your husband. You want your wife. What are you doing within yourself to prepare yourself for this individual? No one's perfect. And even when we do find the one, or when he does come to us and we find each other, vice versa, I think it's important for us to recognize that there's still going to be a fault in that individual because no one is perfect. So if you didn't do your self-work, you're going to look at everything that God has blessed you with as a problem, as an issue. And on the other spectrum of that, once you do your self-work and you become whole, you'll be able to fill in the gaps because that is your complete helpmate. So where he falls short, you raise him up. And where you fall short, he raises you up. You get me? And that is the part of relationships, that agape, that intergalactic, that pure romance, the pure love, the way that God created it. And I think it's so important for people to recognize that. But so many people don't want to. And this is why we have these conversations. So the people who are still engaged, the people who are married and going through issues, and us single folk, we have to look at people's, other people's relationships as an example of what we either do want or what we don't want. Like, God has allowed us to be single this long for a reason. And I know in the past we might have felt like, it's not fair with my husband, I want this. But count it as a blessing. The fact that we're single and we don't have to answer to no man, we don't have to really like stress out right now about anything unnecessarily, especially for the person that is the wrong person. We have to be grateful for these moments in space and time so that when they do come into our space, we're like, boy, I've been waiting for you forever, and vice versa. And we can appreciate each other and love on each other and just grow forward. So I think that I just had to get that all off. It was on my spirit, but I think it's a beautiful thing once we elevate. But yeah, go ahead, sis.
Yes, well, with the single thing is, and I'm embracing it because it gives me time to learn who Ronique is.
Mm-hmm.
Like what Ronique want. Let Ronique make her own mistakes and correct herself and check herself without somebody else having a say so in every decision I make every single day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've learned from past experiences that being by myself, I learned to accomplish more in life than being with somebody, which is sad.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, but it's true.
You got to get to know yourself. You can't just be hopping around. Who are you? What do you like? What's your favorite color? Where you like to go? Where you want to be? What you want your future house to look like? What? Who are you? You understand what I'm saying?
I'm loving this, getting to know myself. I'm loving it, especially with the field I'm in, because I get to travel all over the world and be gone for weeks and weeks and weeks at a time and meet so many people. If I could just share with all you guys, the people I talk to, the people who is in communication with me, who email me, top A1 people in this world you guys know of, but I keep my friendship sacred and private. It's just a blessing because the people who I let come into my life, into my space, they teach me stuff. That's what I love. People who got game, who got knowledge, who got power, who I can learn from, and that's going to help me excel in life. Take some of that wisdom and knowledge and share that with my children, my niece and my sister Erica, my other, close friends and family. And if God put it on my heart to get on here and share with you guys, I most definitely would, because I ain't never been the type to be a hater, hold information. I share everything from my houses to my cars to my money. I've always been that friend. Have I ever got back? No, but it's all good.
Right. And that's the genuineness of your heart. And that's why real always recognize real. I actually want to go into some of the comments. If any of you have questions for Ronique or just questions about relationships or hypotheticals, put them in the question box or put them down below. And if I catch it, but sure, I have. All right. So Marcus said being single is an opportunity to embrace full uninterrupted growth and introspection. Linda said it's preparation. Loving our life is exactly. And Marcus also said it also allows us to address. I don't know what just happened. Hold on. All right. You know what? IG is acting silly, so I'm not gonna touch nothing. It just did a glitch. I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay, there it goes. It also allows. Okay, no, it keeps disappearing. All right, I'm gonna leave it alone. But what you said, Marcus, was deep. He was just saying it allows for deep introspection, and and it goes a long way. And I think that these conversations are intellectual, and they need to be had as a whole because we are not trying to make the same mistakes in our future relationships that we did in our past relationships. So, ladies, that means when he don't answer his phone, don't call a million times. Be secure in your space and time. Pick up a book and read it. Do something you like to do. You know what I'm saying? Do something for yourself. Go to the spa. Get a massage. Get your manis and petties done. I just think that you have to find time to be better within yourself. And then we have a question. Okay? So this question says, it's from Marcus. It says, what's your self-care routine look like? So I'll let you answer first and then I'll answer, Ronnie.
Self-care routine look like? Mark, to be honest with you, I've been My son is 23. My daughter's 18. I've taken on the responsibility of being a parent, second parent to my 11-year-old niece and my 2-year-old nephew from my brother passing away last year. And I also take care of my mom full time. So they really take up a lot of my time. And I've been reaching out to another sister of mine about, calling me and getting with me to start working out again, walking around the lake, start reading and studying, my books. I have downloaded some breathing apps on my phone where you can just self-meditate. Like, these are some of the things I want to get back into doing for myself. But unfortunately, I'm so loved by my family. They call me every five
I love that. I
five
love
minutes.
it.
Such a
Mm-hmm.
blessing, blessing to be wanted and needed by people who love you. But those are a lot of the things on my self-care list, as far as, I go on a vacation once a month. I'll get on a flight and get away, with
Mm-hmm.
work, or, just hanging out with a family member or seeing a friend. That happens once a month. I
Yeah.
was this month, but COVID hit, and I lost another family member, and I wasn't mentally prepared. So, next year's the year.
For sure, for sure. And I'll go ahead and answer. So for me personally, self-care for me in this space, I'll just talk about 2020. It's really been meditating. I've been doing a lot of meditating, a lot of journaling, a lot of reading, not just the Bible, but just reading self-help books. That's been my space because I'm overcoming a loss, and that grieving process, if you're not channeling that energy to heal, it does mess with your internals.
It,
And so I'm making conscious decisions to stay whole and to stay pure. I've eliminated all negative energy, all negative conversations. Anyone who calls me with "girl" or "did you know," like, I just cut it. I cut it at the gate. Like, I gotta go. And so my phone has been on do not disturb for about a good two months now. And just being in a space of peace for me, giving myself manis and petties, because New York is crazy with these COVID cases rising up. So taking the time to just do things that I would normally do before this pandemic. But I feel like getting my mental and my heart as healed as possible has been my biggest self-care the last few months. So if anyone has lost a family member, friend, or anyone close, my condolences, and you're gonna get through it. Just try your best to see the glass half full instead of half empty.
that's right, sis. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's real. Okay, I want to cry. I feel like I'm about to cry.
Me,
Okay, you reading? What you saying, Ronnie?
I said, was there any more questions?
No, there aren't any more questions. So, if anyone again has any additional questions, let us know. But
I have
go.
one.
What you gonna ask me? What you gonna ask me? Go ahead.
So we didn't talk about settling.
Oh,
Did
settling. Yes, yes. No, we
are we
didn't.
or
We
not?
not settling. I refuse to settle. Listen, settling is an abomination to your
Someone
fullest
sent
potential. Huh?
someone sent the question. They said,
Oh, they did? Where,
mm-hmm.
where is it?
I have to cut you off.
No, I don't see it though.
Oh, okay. Well, can you
Um,
resend the question so we can elaborate on your questions, please? Thank you.
yes. Send
Let
it in the question. Put it in the question box though, because so everybody can see it, if you don't
we
mind.
we have new people chiming in. Can you kind of let them know what we've been discussing?
Yes, I will, Ronique. Thank you. All right, so we've been discussing healthy relationships, setting boundaries, self-care, and the importance of keeping your circle sacred or your blessings sacred in the midst of God elevating you. So that's everything from your career to your love, being mindful to just secure yourself and prepare yourself for your soulmate, so that you're as whole and healed as possible. And I think it's important for us to remember that and to uplift each other. We're a community, so uplifting each other genuinely with no ill will, with no ulterior motive. That is the biggest thing. Okay, so the question is, so Jay Marshall we got two questions. So I'm gonna ask Jay Marshall first. It's how do you know you're settling? All right. So you want me to answer first?
Go ahead.
All right. For me personally, I know I'm settling when I am exerting more than is being exerted from the other partner. So it's a give and take in any relationship, but you have to be evenly yoked as much as possible, spiritually and, to a degree monetarily, or, having the same kind of mind or the same kind of ambition. You don't necessarily have to be in the same field. I'm in the arts, this is my nature. But if he's not, as long as he's supportive and all of that. So if my man is not supportive, or he's always trying to compete, and it's just a vibe, it's just something, it's not right, it's not pure, it doesn't stick all the way. If there are secrets, or he's moving funny, or you just know the signs. We've been in enough relationships or situationships to just know when something's off kilter, and trust your instincts with that. There's so many different scenarios. And then you have guys who are great at masking their wolves in sheep's clothing. So your worth, establish your worth, and you're going to recognize when someone is not living up to the expectation of your truth, and you as well for him, because I think sometimes too, men settle with us because, we're taught again to just kind of be lax because society gives us passes, but we allow the man to do all the work in the relationship because we're pretty. That's not enough. You get me? So it goes both ways. So men, you recognize when you're overexerting and nothing is given back in return. And then women, the same thing. You want to borrow your car, you always giving him money. He don't never make time for you. He always got excuses for you. Like, those are the signs that you're settling. And be true to yourself in those moments. What you got to say, sis? I'm gonna ask the other question, but I want you to add on that.
As in Janelle.
Hey, Janelle, and hey, everybody again coming in. We really appreciate it. So what you can add to that, sis?
I would say with me is I am a great listener. I let people talk, honey. I let people talk. And when I go back around them, I let them talk. That's how you learn who people are. Okay?
Right.
You talk less, listen a lot more. And people are, for instance, a guy say, hey, I want to move forward with you, and X, Y, Z, and do this and do that. You got to put their actions to the test.
Right.
And with me, I am so straightforward and upfront. I lay everything on the table up front. I'm not embarrassed. I'm not ashamed. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. This is A, B, C, D, F, G. If you with it, you with it. If not, hey, touche.
Keep it moving, right?
Be friends. You know what I mean? Let's get to know each other. When guys ask what I want out of a man, I blow the hell out of their mind. Some of them stutter and they can't even respond to what the hell I say. And it makes me think, like, is that many women out here that's just willing to accept a man just, coming, because some people change. Some
they evolve. Yeah.
Come from this broken home who mama has allowed him to beat on women and have 1,000 kids, and who's willing to live his life taking money off women, and that's his hustle, is being Rico Suave, and that is thick.
Right.
Please.
Right.
And you afraid of being that lonely? You willing to put up with somebody like that, who's confused, who don't have morals and characteristics about himself? Not to judge men with a lot of kids, but baby, because I know some who do have some and they do take care of them. But I know a lot who got some and they don't take care of them at all. But that's a problem. Those are some real deep-rooted issues, because every child needs 2 parents in the house.
Right.
And it's impossible for you to be there for 10 kids in each household when you also got to provide a life for you, keep a roof over your head. You understand? Because these
Yes.
kids and people, we as people go through things daily in life. Like things happen to us out there in their world. You know, like with some of the things that has happened to one of my children.
Right.
My bringing her back to Oakland is something I had to get on my knees and ask God to help me with, because I have felt regretful for it because of the things she has been exposed to out here that has caused her so much pain and trauma. And I'm the only one who's up at night praying for her and dealing with her issues on a day-to-day basis by myself.
Right. Right.
No other parent is coming to give me a break, love, and hug on her and pray for her and show her this is what a king is like. This is what it's going to take to be loved by a man. And this is when you know they're really loving you and lying to you and showing and walking away. You know what I mean? It's just real life.
Right.
But
Right.
with the settling, no, I'm not settling. My
No.
goals, my expectations way up here.
Right.
I'm at the point, y'all, I want to fill out an application and I want a mental genetic test from your great
All of it.
grandfather.
Yes.
I need to know.
23 and me, all of it.
I need to know mental health issues running your family, retardation, slowness, stutterness, and I'm just being, because you cannot have kids by anybody.
Right. 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 Right.
You
Right.
cannot.
Right.
You cannot have children by anybody. Your kid can come out all honey, and I'm a living example and proof. And when my story come out, y'all have a clear understanding what I'm talking about as far as that. But you can't. But so as far as settling, no, never ever. I don't have a problem sleeping in my bed by myself. Matter of fact, I got a 2-year-old that lay next to me who rub on me and kiss on me. I got a 7-year-old niece who sleeps right on the other side, so my bed is full all the time. So I'm never,
Pure love. Right.
I got real, genuine, pure love. Some little angel God have put in my life, so I'm good, But when it happened, and when my King come, I have prayed to be ready in every area that God need me, and I need to be for Him.
Right. Right. And again, I just want to say this, ladies, gentlemen, if your conversations with your friends are not like this, you need to level up. We've been talking like this forever and a day. We've been feeding into each other for years, and when they say good girls finish last, guess what? We've evolved into queens, and guess what? Our kings, they might have messed up in the past, but they're ready for us, so they're preparing themselves for us. You understand?
Amen. Amen.
Yes, shoot. You better get ready, okay? Listen, all I'm gonna say is I'm grateful for these experiences. But another thing I wanted to say is we are grown individuals. If you meet a man or a man is approaching you and trying to court you, and you ask him questions and his answers are I don't know, or I ain't really thought about that, keep it trucking. Keep it moving. We are adults. We are approaching our 40s. And the ones who are in their 40s are approaching their 50s. Ain't nobody got time for uncertainty. You need to be distinct in what you want in life. It's moving. It's moving with or without you. So if you don't know what you want, I hope you figure it out. So our next question is, we got 3 questions. Okay, you know what? Let me just ask these questions. And Marcus asked, being single for that amount of time, I would assume the desire for romance, companionship, intimacy, etc. arise. How do you manage those thoughts and emotions when they come up? So, okay. So how you want to go first?
I pray.
I
pray about it because it's the flesh. It's the body. I pray about it. And I get up and I get active. I shower, get outside, walk it, and get the moving around and take my mind off of it. That's how I take my mind away from, wanting that intimacy. And I think that's why I love so hard on my, especially the baby, with the hugs and the kisses, because no one is really giving that to me. You know, I don't have the husband coming home yet, hugging and kissing me, asking me, baby, how was your day? Let me give you a foot massage. Let's take a bath. Let's get in the jacuzzi. Let me
Yeah.
how was your day? Let me massage. Just lay down, my beautiful queen. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but I just learned to stay busy and stay active.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
babies kind of fulfill that for me right now, y'all, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
in my work. So,
And I respect that. And I don't think we have that much time left. We probably got about 10 minutes.
right.
But I'm gonna elaborate and we're gonna delve into more. But for me personally, it has been a lot of prayer and channeling my energy into creativity because it's that same energy. And like you said, it's the flesh and it's fighting those things. We're human, you know, we want to be loved, caressed, held, you know, kissed. And it will happen when the time is right. But in the meantime, it's just really taking the space to find something to do with that energy. And creating has been a blessing for me. And not entertaining certain things, certain conversations, certain people, because again, we're human. And again, my phone is on do not disturb because I don't want to mess up anything that God has been preparing me for this moment in space and time. So I think that's important for me, just respecting myself enough and respecting my husband enough to not ever taint the sanctity of what is about to happen or what is going to happen. And that's where I am with it as well, just creating and looking forward to and manifesting for the future. So I don't know if anyone else has been doing that, but that's where my space is. And especially being alone, I live alone, so I have to be able to be responsible for that. You have the blessings of the babies, you understand? And some people are literally by themselves, so it's a stronger will.
We have a,
So yeah, I just put it up. Jay Marshall, you go ahead and read it, sis.
how do you know if that person's the one?
You go ahead. You've been in relationships longer than I have. You
Oh,
know, I mean, you've been in longer term relationships than I have. So how do you know the person is the one? Because I haven't found. I'm not with the one yet.
um, and it's kind of hard to ask because see, I was married for 13 years. I was married for 13 years. I got married at 18 and I stuck in there for a while. And
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning, he seemed like he was the one because we had a lot in common. Um, you know, we communicated on the same level. We have the same drive and ambition.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe 2 years later, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
after I said I do,
Mm-hmm.
things changed. And I don't know if it was because he was influenced by, you know, the neighborhood, the environment, the mom, and the other outsiders in the business. But
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to determine. I don't know. I would say pray on it.
Right.
Talk about what you guys expect and want out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see each other in 5 to 10 to 15, 20 years from now? Talk
Mm-hmm.
about the things you like to do, the things you don't like to do, you know, um, and weigh it out and take your time because some
Mm-hmm.
people do wear these masks, as Erica was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and you just got to pray and ask
Mm-hmm.
God to give you that discerning spirit to reveal this person to you. And when you
Mm-hmm.
start seeing them signs, pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you sometimes you got to put people to the test in
Right.
order for them to reveal their real card too.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be, I would say, the way of knowing if that person is going to be your partner and your
Mm-hmm.
soulmate. But prayer is most definitely is a huge, huge part of it.
Right. Right. I agree. Prayer and supplication, because you again, no one's perfect, so you want to make sure all of those mature and responsible questions for your security are being answered, and just keeping your eyes open and not being hasty and trusting the process because you don't want anything prematurely. Let God work. Let the divine work. Let divine timing happen for you. And in the process, just be yourself. Be your true self. Be honest. Don't show no representative. Be yourself. Be yourself.
Because for example, you guys, let me tell you one thing, because I know we're getting out of time. When men have tried to approach me like they want to date me and talk to me, I would say, well, hey, you know, I'm not a housewife. You know, I'll probably won't jump into that until about my 60s, because I'm an actress, I'm a producer, I fly throughout the country,
Ooh.
TV shows,
Mhm.
I work on sets, you know, I do a
Hold
lot
on,
of things.
sis, real quick. I don't mean to cut you off. We can pop back on. We got 19 seconds. But I want you to finish that and come back in for it. We'll do another 30 minutes. Is that cool?
I don't know.
All right, 15. All right, we'll be right back, y'all.
I don't know.